Hey, good day. This is Greg Lewis, the city manager in Lebanon, New Hampshire. Welcome to Lebanon in Depth. Today, Paul and I we're just talking about summer, and it appears it's still summer here. We are still in September, but it's a nice warm day here in Lebanon. It's pretty warm, in fact, 80 degrees or so. But we want to take the show today and review the summer, and we might, and it's been a summer that just whipped by us. We were just talking about that, and Paul and I will just kind of work through the summer and what it took place in the Parks and Recreation program and all our different programs, and then we might we'll kind of telegraph out a little bit to what lies ahead of us. We got several kind of special issues. We want to talk about the fireworks a little bit. And we also want to talk about some projects that we're both vitally interested in. Paul has been really carrying quite a load and trying to accomplish work on our Greenway with so many volunteers we have. And also we'll talk a little bit about Sim Hill School. So that's quite a bit for us to talk about today, Paul. How are you doing? How are you exhausted from your summer?
Oh my gosh, we are exhausted. Our whole staff is tired. We have a new addition to our team. Christine Flythe, our recreation coordinator, just gave birth to a baby boy a couple days ago, so she made it through the whole summer, which we were very grateful for.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah,
and that wonderful baby boy.
Yep. But yeah, our staff is quite exhausted, and it's been a full summer, and we're quite happy with the way everything has gone. The weather cooperated magnificently, so that always helps.
Nice summer.
It has. Sometimes we always think it rains on Thursdays because that's our big day, and anytime it rains on a Thursday, we feel like it happens every Thursday. But the reality was Thursdays treated us pretty well this year. Had a couple of rainy farmers market and concert series, but for the most part, we had a good session.
That's good. So let's just take it piece by piece and touch base on the different aspects of the summer, reflecting back and what happened and how'd it go, and what were some moments that you remember your team and participants? And
well, the big obvious things that people recognize Lebanon for in the summertime are the concerts. There's always live music going on. We kind of pioneered that road here in the Upper Valley with having free concerts on the green, and stepped that up quite a few notches with the Front Porch Music Series that goes on Thursday nights. So several other towns offer concerts as well now, which is great, and we have just a vibrant music scene all around the Upper Valley. But Thursday nights in the park was really a hopping place with great music from bands that tour all over the country, and live music at the farmers market, of course, with some of the local fiddlers and guitar players and singer-songwriters. So those have always been a good time. And the farmers market's just been bursting at the seams, and you go to.
It looks really full.
Every Thursday you go out there, unless it's raining. But every Thursday with the good weather, you just almost can't find a place to stand around. So there's a lot of good foods. Once the harvest season really comes into full swing, there's just colors everywhere, and people having a great time.
That's good. I know I try to make a run through to get the veggies. At the farmers market and take them home, and some other delightful things. But some people are terrific in their baking, and there's some canned goods, and some people are jellies, jams. It's a pretty cool place if you like all the different kind of local products and local products that have been worked through by people here in our communities.
It's true. It's true. And we're really careful to make this is a farmer's market. Well over half the vendors are agricultural-based vendors, and we have prepared foods and crafts. But we want to be careful to not ever become a flea market where just anything can be vended. That said, we have some great crafters who are on site, and they have magnificent products and enjoy being at the market too. So there's quite a variety for anybody. And the good thing is, even though the summer season is kind of ending for us as we move into fall, the farmers market stays open on Thursdays through September. So we're not done with that yet.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, here we're coming into the fall, and we'll have some things there. I think that was really neat. And I noticed that the music, as you remarked about it, was there's quite a bit of diversity in the different types of sounds you'd hear on the bands that we play in, and the talent that was shown.
We love that part. The Monday night concert series is our more traditional music scene for the Upper Valley, and that's the community bands of both Upper Valley Community Band and the Limetown Band. We have some folk singers that come out, and some other people from kind of the New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine areas that will come over and play in those, and those are always a delight. A lot of folks from the Rogers House like to come out and hear some of that, and the
Yeah, that's
casual
good.
passerbys. We got to award our Volunteer of the Year for 2013 to Robert Harris at one of the Monday night shows, so we really appreciated all the work that Robert had done over the years. And
Yeah. Describe a little about Robert and his involvement. And I know that last night we were at the council meeting, and you had you presented the family, and the mayor and the council presented the family with a resolution of appreciation, but there was also acknowledgement that you and your team put together, and by the members of the family were able to
That's right.
have that recognition.
Volunteerism is the center of everything that we do at the rec department. There's no way our programs happen without a large group of volunteers who do certain things with us. So we like to award somebody who exemplifies what it means to be a volunteer, not only with the rec department but in other community services, because we're a tight-knit community and there's a lot of overlap. So Robert Harris has been a person who served on our Recreation Commission for many years, including chairperson for the last several years, and he's also helped us form the new Friends of Lebanon Recreation Board, which we're super excited about, coming together to enhance recreational opportunities around here beyond what the rec department can do on our own. So he was instrumental in that. He's been ever present on the baseball field and the football fields for us, and one of these guys who just likes to be involved and likes to be a voice for people who might not otherwise come to the table to be heard.
That's really wonderful. We're proud to have people like that, like Robert, in our community, and being so oriented to service to others. So that's
true.
Really wonderful.
And it was sad to have Robert did pass away from a battle with cancer earlier this year, but at the awards we got to have his wife Mary Maxfield and his son and daughter, who both came through our programs and that we know really well, were able to receive the award on Robert's behalf. So that was special.
That's good. Well, the best to him and his family, and in memory of him, and that's for sure that the people of Lebanon will keep his memory as something that's important, and showing what a person can do in their life and how they can contribute and be, and the value they add to the community.
And I think Robert would have been very happy to see all the activity that's been going on this summer between soccer camps and other specialty sports camps. We even had several families from Lebanon come and join the CATV video camps right here in this studio.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I know they
fun.
have camps here. It was really neat. CATV does so many wonderful things, and one of those was the camps, and that was cool.
Absolutely. I heard those went really well. So we like to help advertise those things and make it easy for people to sign up for that kind of stuff. We also had theater camp, which was
You have a lot of different kinds of camps.
different camps. You know, not everybody's an athlete, and we recognize that. So we try to offer the sports things for the athletes, but our real objective is to find those kids who need other ways of recreating, getting active, getting plugged into the community outside of the sports things. So the arts types of camps do happen, and we also have an outdoor adventures program.
I've seen some of your members of your team. They look like, boy, they're ready to go they're into a river or a jungle. You know, they're all dressed down, and they have these wonderful kayaks, and
Oh, yes.
and you have the bus, the thing you have. Where do we go? Where do we take and get and bring people to all the people that participate in those kind of activities?
Oh, yeah, our outdoor adventures. Well, I'm fond of saying that Lebanon has an outdoors playground. It's built into where we live. This whole Upper Valley is a tremendous place just to be able to go outside and recreate. It's one of the reasons that Lebanon has recently been voted the top 5 places to raise a kid in the outdoors, one of the most active cities, small cities in the whole country. We're all numerous great accolades that recognize Lebanon and some of the work that we do at the rec department, but also it recognizes just where we live lends itself to be able to go paddling in places like Grafton Pond or the Connecticut River or some of the other local ponds. We don't have to travel far at all. Some of our hikes, we do like to go out to the White Mountains and the farther reaches of the Green Mountains because they're magnificent peaks, but we also like to do a lot of local things. Moosilauke was under an hour away from us. Cardigan is only half an hour away, and it's such a tremendous peak to be able to go up and see some great views with. Rock climbing, we have that all within an hour's drive, and some even closer. So it's a good opportunity for us. We think of all of our activities as an opportunity to put adults and people who have a desire to be around young people and putting them in mentoring opportunities. So while we're teaching rock climbing and we're teaching kids how to
Yes.
boat and going hiking and camping, what we're really doing is finding ways of connecting our adult leaders with youth to help raise them up and invest in their lives and encourage them and give them some skills that they can carry into their adulthood.
Yeah, I greatly admire. We have many people come forward to join the program every summer, and as you see, as it's kind of hectic at the beginning, where you're seasonally trying to make arrangements for different parties to play different roles, coaches, other support roles, umpires. You're really scrambling to try to get everything, but everything comes together, and all these people kind of, it's like we'll all get together. We'll have a recreation parks experience this summer. And
It'll happen.
There's a lot of them. It seems like that's really wonderful.
There's a lot. Sometimes we wonder, is this going to come together? Are we going to pull this
Yeah,
off?
it's pretty hectic.
And it happens.
Amazing how you all just kind of pull it together. But it was like, wow, a lot of people trying to be placed into different roles.
Well,
and then the children and all their parents.
And we have great help with some of these things. The adult athletics is a great example. Adult softball, just 12 years ago, 14 years ago, there were maybe 8 teams that played adult softball. Now we have 28.
Wow,
and it's just
28.
And there's just always a team that wants to get in and play adult softball. So we have help with wonderful coordinators that we can hire on the side who make sure the league is going to go well, so that we don't have to feel like we have to be at everything that goes on. So again, another example about how people are all contributing to something that they value. Ultimate Frisbee is another great example where
a lot of people interested. I mean, the people get involved in ultimate.
Yeah, and it's good to be an athlete to play ultimate Frisbee, but we find that there are a lot of folks who never played a team sport who say, all right, I'll check out Frisbee. And they go out and they're learning how to play this thing, and a lot of first timers, and they're joining a team. We had over 80 people join our Ultimate Frisbee League this year, and and that was the maximum that we could take. We had to turn people away, unfortunately. But there's capacities on everything that we do, and so people are active, and we're finding more and more ways of getting people outside, active, and finding community together.
It's quite a deal. We have a lot of really great facilities. I mean, they're both natural and built. Might cover some of those, the kind of facilities people have available to us. You kind of touched on the physical, the environmental side, where it's just natural facilities, but there's other things too.
Right here within the city, we have some of the obvious parklands. Colburn Park is the Lebanon Green, and that's where we do a lot of our programming, where the market and the concerts.
It's a real center of activity.
Right in the middle, and it's not a ball field, but there's so much activity that happens there. That's a joint operation between Department of Public Works and the Rec Department to make sure that facility looks nice. So that's one of the more obvious places. There's always our ball fields. Eldridge Ball Field is a baseball park, and we put soccer out there as well. Civic Park behind Seminary Hill School is a very active park, ball field-wise again. Riverside Community Park is probably the most visited park that we have, except for the green, where the skate park is, and a pavilion and a couple of playgrounds. Horseshoe pits are there, and a league plays there as well. So really a great asset for the city. And there's just a lot of other facilities that they're smaller parks where people can go and reflect and just be quiet in nature. They're very accessible and in the middle of town. Some of them are more on the outer reaches of town. But you could also think about the conservation lands that the planning office works with, and great trail systems. And we have maps at the recreation office that show where all these different parks are.
So people can have some guidance and try if they have not tried it before.
That's right. Yeah, we love to give people access to the conservation land so they can enjoy a hike without having to drive hardly at all.
Yeah, it's very convenient, very accessible, and very expense-wise. I mean, the exertion it makes it so easy for you to do things where some places you'd be paying park fees to get into a park.
It's true. It's true.
So that's quite an asset for the community.
Little known fact here too, Lebanon has actually led a lot of what we hope will be perpetuated throughout the state, and that is a joint use agreement between the city and the school district. That a lot of school districts around the country don't allow for access to the public after school hours or even during the summer. There's liability issues and there's reasons why those things happen. But the city has been very progressive by saying these are great facilities that are right in our neighborhoods, and we should be able to have access to the public to be able to get on these playgrounds when the school's not in session, or the ball fields. So we have a wonderful working relationship with the school district, and I think the citizens of Lebanon and the other people who visit here get to benefit from that.
That's really, really cool. You know, earlier you had mentioned a little bit about Friends of Recreation. I'm proud that we're exploring that, and we have some people stepping up. And I'll have you talk to a little bit about what it is. I think everyone in the community here in Lebanon that has a supporter of recreation, interest in recreation, you have members of your family, your friends, those who are involved in recreation yourselves. There's a lot of things where we have potential of even building on the great things you described. But to build everything on a property tax system like we have in New Hampshire is just not it's just not the kind of viable system that one would want, because we really have, and we're very ambitious for achieving the greatest spirit and physical well-being possible through these programs. To the extent we can do this, so that's why there needs to be another source of revenues, so that the continuation where we're moving upward and forward and we have continuity, that we pursue these matters for the benefit of all, and that's where the Friends of Recreation came into effect. Opportunity to kind of step up and join the spirit here, and contribute to the greater well-being in the long term of the city recreation and parks program. So, would you describe a little bit about what's going on there? I know we're kind of in the infancy, but we're starting to crawl and walk a little bit. And
well, I love the team that's come together to form the first board of the Friends of Lebanon Recreation and Parks. So our mission is to enhance recreational opportunities in Lebanon, recognizing, like you said, that there are a lot of objectives and goals that we have as a city for recreational opportunities that we just know won't be able to come together if we just depend on the tax base. So this team has come together, and we're applying for nonprofit status, and we're recognized by the state as being a nonprofit organization. And the team is ready to not only launch websites and do things of that matter, but to really identify what are some projects that we want to take on as a nonprofit organization. How do we want to reach out into the community and say, let's get behind this, because we all have these great dreams of how Lebanon could be even better than it is, and it really is going to require the community to do that. We do have some vacancies on the board. Like I mentioned, Robert Harris having left us by passing in earlier this year, so we do want to fulfill some of the ranks that we still have there. But this is one of those things where if everybody in Lebanon stood up and said, hey, we'd love to be a part of what's going on to increase the capacity for recreation to happen here, then we welcome it. We welcome people to get together and tell us what they want to see happen more of, and how we can fund some of those sort of things. A lot of it's advocacy and just being present in the community and saying, hey, this is a great opportunity for us to do something.
Absolutely. So, so here's an opportunity for anyone listening here we have room, and we really welcome you to the board. So there's a chance to really become a leader on this. That's great. As it's developed, nonprofits are there. I think everyone has to give their own way if they choose to do so. I really like to kind of pick my places. And then I like to try to create some continuity in my contribution, because I think we all have to get, and of course some of us are in a better position to provide gifts than others. So we know that, but there is a possibility everyone can give a little bit. I think that we'll work toward a situation where there'll be availability. I have certain dollars taken out of every weekly paycheck for the USO, for Wounded Warriors. I can, consistently for the Library Foundation. The Friends of Recreation is joining that group, and I think if you're of the mind that I am, I find myself so doing other things that sometimes I don't have the moment to be as big a supporter as I would like to be at this time in my life with a recreation. And I think people like me and others with a similar bent, we should kind of step up. And I know how it was raising 3 children when they going through these recreation parks programs. I know what it's like when my parents were utilizing recreation programs as they aged. And I think we should, this is such an important thing that we can't just settle for mediocre. We've got to go higher, and the only way we can do this is the Friends of Recreation program. So take that in the heart, and if you have interest in this, contact Paul. You can contact me, and then I'll put you in contact with Paul. We got a lot of ways to find Paul, and but we'll get you set up.
That's good.
And figure this thing out.
Yeah, we welcome it. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, one of the big issues that appeared this summer was that we had the question of fireworks.
Sure did.
And there was a survey taken earlier the year where we asked our supporters and friends of in recreation how they would feel about how to allocate the fireworks display, and we in which if we had it at the end of summer instead of the 4th of July, there would be an additional amount of fireworks added to the effort, and would probably help in terms of that effort. I think that the survey indicated support for that, and then subsequently, as it became more and people became known that the fireworks display wasn't going to happen on the 4th, but rather it was going to be the end of summer, there was concerns expressed from the people who felt traditionally we should do a lot to celebrate the 4th of July as a part of our heritage, our patriotism for the United States, and that we should do that. So I mean, this is all a part of our trying different things, getting feedback, and moving forward. So why don't we why don't you kind of cover that and talk about how things were, how things went, what's going to happen with regard to the fireworks.
Good.
How's the process, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun conversation, even though there are some strong feelings from certain folks about one way it should be, and we welcome all the feedback. We really do want the feedback because it's a hard decision to make which way to go, and we haven't made up our minds for 2015, so we're going to be actively soliciting feedback again. Now that the 4th of July has come and gone and the end of the summer celebration has come and gone, we're looking at all of it, so we're certainly interested in hearing from people. So the decision to not have 4th of July fireworks was based on, from last year, we weren't able to have the fireworks show because of the big storm events and ended up having them in August, and discovered during that time that, wow, people seemed like they found other fireworks shows to go find because they didn't come to Lebanon to hear the music and have the food and do all the things that we normally do on the 4th of July that we still had. They went and saw fireworks someplace. And searching around, we found that there's at least 5 shows within 30 minutes of Lebanon on the 4th of July, and even more if you count the 3rd or the 5th of July. So we thought, well, rather than trying to compete with all of these different towns who are having all these shows, why don't we do our own on a unique night and let that pull in people from all over the Upper Valley to a night when there's really nothing else happening. And so that ended up happening last year as well because North Star Fireworks, our fireworks company, said they could actually end up giving us more fireworks by choosing a different night. And they were really gracious to us as well because they felt the punch that we got right in the chest when with those floods came and wiped out Slayton Hill and a lot of Storrs Hill and some of the other roads that we have around town. So they donated even an extra $1,000 worth of fireworks just to be nice and say, sorry this happened to you. So based on that, we decided let's try the August 28th. Let's put a lot of music around it, and the Dance Fest, which we already planned, and the Farmers Market, which is already going on, taking advantage of some events that we already had planned and taking some synergy from that, and put out the survey, like you said. Would the community be in support of this decision, or are you willing to go either way with it? And 2/3 of our respondents basically said, yeah, you should change it. You should move it to August. Or they said, do whatever you like. Either way is going to be fine. And there's certainly some folks who said, yeah, you really should keep it on the 4th of July. But overwhelmingly, people seemed like they wanted to support making the move. News got out more and more during the course of the summer, and we still continue to get feedback both ways. people said, yeah, I think it's good for you to not compete and let us go find fireworks over in Hartford, which is probably the primary place that people went. And I tell you, the Hartford Fireworks Show was quite good. They do a great job. My colleagues over there are, they put together a great event, and it's in a fun field where everybody's together. So there's something there that very, very convenient for folks to be able to make it to. So, and some people did let us know it's not appropriate to let go of the 4th of July. There's something needs to be happening here. So we're recording all of these different things. But now that the August 28th event happened with the Music Fest and the Farmers Market and the Dance Fest, we had the Conniption Fits played, and we had several young bands from Tuck Rock Dojo who contributed some time out there. And the fireworks show, you know, looking at the numbers, we had a great event. I think we had about 50% more people came to that event on August 28th than we've ever had at a 4th of July event, about 50% more people. So that was pretty significant in our minds. Doesn't mean that means that we're going to do it again in 2015, because like I said, we want to get some actual feedback. So we expect people to find some surveys that we're going to release on our website and social media and email database, and hopefully it can reach folks, but we want to get that out so people can respond.
So as you listen to that, everyone out there, please feel free to share your thoughts with us, and be sure, you know, watch for the. We really, with recreation and parks, and our whole website is really quite. It's quite informational and quite friendly, and we invite you to please look at that website, participate, answer these questions.
Yeah.
So that's looking good, because we'll keep an open mind. We'll see what the feedback is, to see how people feel about these things. In our last 3 minutes or so, I thought we'd touch on a little bit what's the forward, what's happening. I mean, as we described, we had a really active summer, so it took a lot of time here talking about it. But I think it was important to kind of reflect on that. But we have the fall and winter coming up, and then we want a couple mentions of our projects.
Sure, I can wrap all those into one here. Our fall and winter program guide is out now, and the schools have out, so we're really cranking with close to 1,000 kids are probably participating in some of our fall sports programs, which is tremendous. We're very busy with that right now. In the wintertime, we'll be cranking up with ski trips and snowshoe trips and things of that nature, trying to get basketball. We are going to be having basketball at Seminary Hill School again, which has been sort of vacant over the last couple of years. And as far as that's concerned, that's one of our primary programming spaces that we've usually had available to us. It hasn't been since the school left there. So as you know, we're really seeking to make that a community center in the long term, and we have a lot to figure out to make that happen. So we'll continue working with the school board and also with other interested parties to see how we can accomplish that. But it's a pretty clear message that I think we've heard from the community, that Seminary Hill School needs to be a public resource that is available, and we have great ideas for how we can use that space well. So we hope that that's going to work and come together.
Definitely a very important project.
It's a very important project.
But to continue to figure out how we dot all the I's, cross all the T's, how the community feels about Seminary Hill School and its utilization here in the future.
Yeah, indeed.
Then we have the Greenway.
The Greenway will go right next to Seminary Hill School, so all of this coming together about the same time would be brilliant. So the Greenway is the 4-mile extension of the rail trail linking Lebanon and West Lebanon, and preliminary studies said that's about a $2.2 million project, of which we've already raised about $1.6 million through our capital campaign team, which has been just amazing work.
It's amazing
Really.
the contributors to it, the individuals and the corporations, the local businesses that have stepped to the plate.
Right.
They've done some wonderful contributions and efforts. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we as a city are a major player in that. That includes a lot of volunteer time and work that we get to do in kind. So it's not all cash. Fortunately, it doesn't have to be all cash, so we're excited about that. But the really neat thing is, too, that there's a $200,000 challenge grant that's out there right now. So if we can raise 50, it gets matched 4-to-1, and will give us another $200,000. We're about halfway to that $50,000 goal already. So in incremental steps, we get there, and that's the way the trail's being built, too.
Yeah.
I have a couple bridges that are finishing up this fall, and some other headway that's being made. So in time, that trail will be built, and
A lot of work, a lot of volunteers. You and your members of your staff, you've been out there a lot, and these folks that are supporters of our trails have sure stepped up to the plate. And
That's right.
a lot of admiration for them. And we're fixing Storrs Hill.
We're fixing
We're
Storrs
trying
Hill.
to figure out how to fix Storrs Hill. We got the go from the council supporting Storrs Hill's restoration. The FEMA dollars are there, but we have to go through the process of doing the necessary work in order to get Storrs Hill back into the condition we want it.
That's right, and that work, people will be able to expect to see that work happening this fall, and that'll put Storrs Hill at least back in the condition that we left it, but should prepare it to be able to withstand storms like we had back in July of 2013 in the future.
So as you see today from talking with Paul, how much effort is being exerted in our community by the people that are involved, Paul and his team members, all the volunteers, everybody stepped to the plate, the people that are into Friends of Recreation, the people that are into the trail and working the trails, and the people that are working in foundation, businesses, individuals stepping to the plate. Storrs Hill, we got the support of our city council. So these kinds of things are really, it's just really vibrant. And that's why those citations that Paul says about livability and about, a good place to raise your children. That's why that's happening. And so let's keep building on this. We all in together, and there's ways for all of us to get involved with it and participate in these programs. And let's support them as well. Thank you, Paul. Thanks to everyone who's been involved in this. Thanks especially to Friends of Recreation and the Friends of the Trails that have been working on the foundation work there.
Thank you.
And they're great, great bunch of people, great businesses.
Right.
Lots of admiration.
Thank you.
So with that, I think you ought to take advantage. Let's go out and enjoy some recreation here in the fall as we finish off the summer. A little bit of summer left. A beautiful time in Lebanon as always.
Right.
Thanks to everyone for joining us today and learning a little more about our recreation and our parks work this summer and what we have ahead of us. Take care.